Hello everybody, it is Demo Donna here, and I am excited to go ahead and do our class. This is the fabulous 3D pop-up snowman. I'm just trying to make sure we are live. Oh yay, here we are. All right, it's always good to confirm that you can actually see yourself on your Facebook Live. Thank you all for joining me, mostly those of you that are watching on replay and on my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new to Demo Donna Design Studio, I teach a couple classes every month. 90% of the products are pink and Maine, so you can recreate these fun, fabulous cards that we put together in these kits. Each kit comes with enough supplies to create 2 cards, and I have actually 3 ways of viewing. You could do a live Zoom class when you purchase the kit. You can watch the Facebook Live, which is this medium right now, or you can watch it on my YouTube channel, which I go ahead and share this live on the YouTube channel. So those are the different ways to create along with me to create your card class. This is the really fun snowman pop-up card that we are going to be creating today. Again, you get 2 of everything or enough supplies to make 2 cards for your kit. And I want to thank you guys all so much, to my fabulous students that have supported me throughout the year and purchased these kits. We've had so much fun in our classroom and on the lives and all the comments and you posting your finished cards. It's been so great. I've really enjoyed every minute of it, so thank you. Okay, to get started, this is our finished card. Just like so, it travels flat, which is nice. This definitely can fold down to that 1/4 of an inch, so you can still send it in a regular envelope as a letter versus a package. So for the most part, I do try to do that to make it nice and easy for you guys. The products that I'm using in this kit, first and foremost, this adorable brand new stamp set, which was released in this month's release, Snowman Peekers, and it also has a coordinating die set available. We are using this cutie pie right here, and this is the coordinating die. The saying that I'm using is from Snow Family, and I'm using Happy Winter as the stamp saying. The really beautiful rose gold confetti is rose gold confetti, also available at Pink and Maine. And then I am using the scallop circle dies, and you do get a sample of the flock with glitter sparkling cottontail in your kit as well. I do also want to show you, so with this actual class, you get 2 of the stamped out snowmen, and you can color him however you'd like. So you can use your alcohol markers, you can use your watercolor pencils, your regular markers, and you can even use the really beautiful water gems. And I wanted to show you, I stamped out a couple of these other fun designs and I went ahead and colored them with my water gems, so you can see how pretty, bold, and sparkly the water gems are with coloring your snowmen too. And I did stamp them all out in Memento Black, the tuxedo black, so your ink does not bleed if you do some watercoloring with them. And that is pretty much the down and dirty. I will give you guys, it's not written in the description now, but I will cut and paste the dimensions to this card so you can go ahead and recreate it. So the base that you have is an A2 base, and then your insert piece in this kit is 6.5 by 6.5, and I wanted to do kind of like a mixed media look on your background paper. And yours comes folded already, and again you get 2 of each of these. And also the colored cardstock in this kit does vary, So it goes from a really light peach to a really light pink. I wanted to give that rose gold look. So that is what is in this kit. And just like with all my classes, I end up purchasing all the paper at my local craft store. So then I have to start to look for other colored cardstocks that will work. All right, so right now in your envelope, if you purchase this kit, you have two. Hi, Lori. I haven't even been reading who's on with me, so hi, everybody. I've been focused on getting this done because I know I owe it to you guys. Okay, you've got in your kit two of these already folded. So this is the simple folding instructions for your fun pop out. And this is such a great card, especially for the holidays. Like I said, it folds up nice and flat. Hi, Teresa. So you can absolutely ship it as a regular envelope. So fold number 1 is just simply taking that 6.5 by 6.5. You can also use 7 by 7. I just trimmed mine down so it fit the stamp design. But if you were using some really beautiful cardstock that had like a nice printed design on it, you could do that as well. Okay, here we go for this easy fold. Fold number 1 is it's folded in half. Fold number 2 is you are gonna go ahead and fold it in half again. And you can absolutely score it. I don't use my scoreboard. I don't have one. So I have a couple things that I could score on, but I don't really have an official scoreboard. So I just fold things the old-fashioned way. Okay, fold 1, fold 2. Now what we're gonna do is go point to point. And I'm gonna do my little whimsical pieces. So my snowflakes are on the end. And I am now going point to point. And bringing those 2 points together, holding them down. There we go. And folding that all the way across on both sides, just like that. So that is our third fold. So now we have a triangle. So now what you're gonna do, since you've got fold number 1, fold number 2, fold number 3 is your triangle. Now what you're gonna do is open up your triangle, take those opposite edges, and you are gonna go point to point with those, and you're gonna now kind of squish this flat. So you've got a square shape now. And I'm gonna just do that one more time so you can see that again. Fold number 1 in half, fold number 2 in half, fold number 3 is making yourself a triangle. And then what I'm gonna do now, our second to last fold, is you're gonna take these 2 points, put them together, and fold that down. So that is pretty much the final version. The last thing you're gonna do here is you're gonna take one of your squares, and I'm just gonna go ahead and fold it down just like that. And that is gonna be what we're gonna glue inside of our card. And you know, it's so funny is I should have started by coloring my snowman like I did in the class, but I just got really excited about showing you the fold. Teresa, can you believe that? All right, so I'm gonna set this aside and do my snowman now. So my little snowman has time to dry so we can glue them onto our project. So like I said, there are several different ways you can color your snowman. You can use watercolors, you can use watercolor pencils, watercolor markers. You can use water gems, which I had a lot of fun with stamping out and coloring the other snowman with my water gems. So whatever color medium works for you, just to make this go a little quicker, I've got a couple alcohol markers, and I am going to just color his little nose. And I am going to use these 2 pinks, and I am going to color the inside of my hat. I already went out of the lines in true Demo Donna form. All right, I'm gonna do my scribbling coloring technique that I've mastered over the years. I'm gonna color in some light pink cheeks, which is pretty much what I look like from here on out now that it's cold. Nothing but pink cheeks. All right, I'm gonna take a darker pink now and just do a little shading. And then same on my little mittens. And so at this point, if you're using alcohol markers, you can always come back with your lighter color to blend it a little bit better, or you can come back with a blender. And if you want to see beautiful professional alcohol marker coloring, definitely tune in and watch Caitlin at Pink and Main, who's fabulous, as well as Libby, and Michelle's coloring is outstanding as well. So there are definitely some options to watch some amazing alcohol marker coloring. All right, so there is my guy. Really simple. I just threw on a little color. Here's another version that I did with just some grays. So of course, what I loved, you guys probably noticed on the page, the people that have gone ahead and finished their card, everyone kind of did different coloring, which was a lot of fun. Next, I'm going to take the Pink and Main Easy Squeeze glue, and I am going to go ahead and fill up my fun little top of my hat, my pom-pom, and then I'm going to do the brim of my hat as well. And I'm applying a nice thick amount of the Easy Squeeze glue. What's great about this product is it stays raised, so you get a very fun dimensional look when you're finished, especially when you're adding the flocking. So it's good to make sure you're using a nice thick adhesive, something that will keep its dimension versus flatten out as it dries. All right, I'm gonna take my nice flat coffee filter, grab my little snowman, and like I said in the kit, you do receive a sample of the flocking with glitter. I've got the real deal, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle a little bit on, and I am gonna, I guess I shouldn't say sprinkle, I should say dump. I'm dumping some on. This is a must-have over the holidays. Definitely scoop yourself up some sparkling cottontail. I did that last time too. Head out of the gutter, Demo Donna. Sparkling cottontail. While your flock is sitting over your glue, what I like to do is I take my little finger tool and I do just a light tap on top. I'm not pushing it in, I'm not applying a heavy pressure whatsoever. I'm doing a very light tap. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing over the rest of my snowman, and that's just ensuring that my flocking is nice and squished into my glitter. So look how cute that is. Now this is very white because the glue is white, but when it dries, it is going to actually be more transparent like this. So you can actually see the stamp detail through. And what would be fun too is if you did like a couple more layers on top. So once this is fully dry like it is here, add a couple more glue layers and your flocking layers, and that's gonna be a really fun, pretty thick look. If you want a white background, you can always take your little glue pen and you can actually color that back first with your white glue pen. This is not a glue pen, but the jelly pen, the white jelly pen. Or you can even just take a little bit of white acrylic paint and paint the back, or any other like paint pen would work too. But I liked the transparency so you could see the stamp detail. All right, I'm gonna put that away, and then we are gonna let this little guy dry as we work on the rest of our card. So I'm gonna take this guy now, set it aside, and let that fully dry. We've got this fun part almost done, And now I'm gonna take my beautiful mirrored cardstock. I've got, in the kit you get a piece of the satin and a piece of the mirror. I am gonna use the satin so you don't have to deal with the glare the whole time, but you do get one piece of each. I'm gonna set the mirrored aside. And you also receive 2 pieces of this decorative tool. And they are cut to 5.5 inches. So if you hold this over your piece of cardstock and there's a good like 1/2 inch left over, flip it over until it fits. So it's cut to 5.5 inches, and that is the side we are gonna stick down. And you have extra, so you can go ahead and cut it as well, but don't cut it until you got it stuck on. Now I'm gonna take my 1/4 inch easy tear tape and make sure you go from top to bottom with your easy tear tape on both sides. There we go. Oh good, the trash is here. I'm sure you hear the squeakiness. It's either the trash comes or a leaf blower outside. There's always some fun noise happening during my lives. It just never fails. All right, so I'm holding this down nice and tight, and I'm securing it in the center and pushing it down all the way from the top to the bottom. And now I'm gonna remove this second piece of tape. There we go. And pull that tight. And again, push down in the center. And I'm kind of pulling that tight. And now you've got this little extra, so you can go ahead and take your scissors and trim that off if you'd like. It'll be easier to adhere that with this extra piece removed. And I just really wanted to do a really fun and unique background. And now when you're out like at the fabric store or craft stores or even Target and Walmart or even the dollar store, you can see if there's some beautiful lace patterns or tulle patterns that have some really cool backgrounds, and you can incorporate those into your card making. So sometimes we got to think outside the box to do something cool, or if you have a really fun large snowflake stamp, you can stamp it and emboss it with white embossing powder to achieve a look like this as well. So just a couple of fun ideas. Okay, next what we are going to do is we are going to cut this guy. So I'm sure just looking at this, it looks like you should have 3 different pieces of paper, but we are actually now going to trim this one piece into 3. So very important that you have a very strong paper cutter for this. And there is a Black Friday sale happening at Caterpillar, and I will share the link shortly, where you receive 20% off. That is right, everybody, 20% off your order. And I did send a message to find out when their mini Caterpillar is coming out, because last I heard was December, but I haven't heard anything since. So pay attention. I'll probably be posting that either today or tomorrow, but the link that you can use for 20% off their Black Friday sale. All right, so this piece here is 2.5 by 5.5. So we are gonna make 2 cuts, and I am gonna start with my 1 1/4, and I'm gonna take, let's try that again, my 1 1/4, and I'm gonna really apply a lot of pressure and hold that down tight, since this is a thick cardstock and we put the tulle over it. So I am now gonna take my Caterpillar here, and I am just going to apply a lot of pressure so that cuts nice and smooth. And I've got a really good clean cut there. It didn't snag. I've got 4 paper cutters, like most of you, maybe 5. And some of them wouldn't be able to do this big of a project. Definitely my little portable Fiskars with that thin little blade in it would not be able to do this kind of heavy dutier project. So definitely make sure you're using your favorite strong paper cutter for this technique. So this cut was 1 1/4. My next one is going to be 1 1/2. So I basically went over to my other end and I'm gonna hold down tight again at 1 1/2 and give that a good cut. So now I have these 3 pieces. I do this every time, there we go. These 3 pieces. First cut, 1 1/4, second cut, 1 1/2. And then the one you're left with in the middle is where you're gonna attach your adorable little snowman. All right. I am now going to take my background paper here and I am gonna do my larger piece on top and my smaller piece on bottom. And you could pick what decorative do you want. This has some more snowflakes, so if I put it this way, you're really not gonna see a lot of the design. So I definitely want more snowflakes showing, and same with that one. All right, because this is a textured paper with the tulle on it, I am going to definitely be using the tape glue combination. So I am gonna add that Easy Tear tape. The trash guy's back for the neighbor's trash. Always exciting. So I put a couple pieces on my larger piece. I'm gonna do 2 pieces on my smaller one. I hope you all had a lovely weekend and have some plans for Thanksgiving. I've already started decorating for Christmas I have kind of like a Merry Thanksgiving theme going on at the house right now, where I'm kind of phasing out my pumpkins and gourds already and adding in all my red and white Christmas decorations because I'm very eager. I mean, it is 30 degrees outside here in Minnesota, so I'm feeling the Christmas vibes, everybody. Okay, I peeled off those 2 backs of tape. Now I'm gonna add a little wet glue. So I am gonna do that right over the tape and right over that section there. Set that down and I'm just gonna eyeball center it. Absolutely, you can measure if you'd like, but that'll work for me, as it usually does. Remove that tape again. And I'm gonna add a little adhesive, a wet adhesive. So that combination of the tape and the glue is what I like to do when I'm using anything that's got added dimension to it or texture or is an interactive card that they were gonna be playing around with a lot. It just makes me feel more secure that my glue is gonna stay where it needs to stay. Okay, so this is what I currently have for my base, those 2 pieces. And now what we are gonna do is we are gonna glue this guy on. So you can add some foam tape if you want. You can just go ahead and glue this straight down. In the Zoom class, I did foam tape. So with this one, I'll just do regular Easy Tear tape. And I'm just gonna do 4 strips. And we are gonna stick those on the back. 1 and 2. And our last one, right about there. Works for me. Peel all that off. Oh my goodness, I did put lotion on and my hands are already dry again. So hopefully you can't see them. Okay, I'm going to take my glue again to double up, again because this is an interactive card. I want to make sure it does not go anywhere. All right, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just kind of hover over the top here and make sure this is centered. Enough. That'll work for me. And now I'm going to push down. And because I've got the wet glue, I am going to apply a little bit of pressure. Stay here for a second. Give it extra love. Make sure it's nice and glued on. You can even set your acrylic block on top. I'm looking for one. Of course, they're all put away. That works for me. Okay, you have 2 different sizes of your scalloped circles. You have 2 of the larger ones and 2 of the smaller ones. These smaller ones go inside. If you want to now, you could stamp a stamp saying on it, or you can write your message before you glue it in, or you can just glue it in and come back to it later with your message. Like I said in the class, you can even just tuck it in here and write your message later. But I wanted a nice solid background so you didn't have to get a really dark pen. So that way, whatever greeting you put in there will be easily readable. That's always important. You work so hard. You want them to know who it's from. Okay, next I'm gonna take some easy tear tape and apply a couple strips here. As you could see, when I put my scalloped circle here, I am gonna have some of this flap exposed, so just make sure if you're using tape that it doesn't come all the way to the ends because it's gonna be sticking out. So now that I know my little section that I'm gonna be working in, I'm gonna grab 2 pieces here. I'm gonna put one right there. And I'm gonna do one right here. There we go. Peel that up. And I'm gonna, you got it, using my glue as well. So I am going to add some glue on there. And then I'm gonna take my scallop circle, kind of eyeball it. The good thing about having the glue over the tape is you could still kind of move that around. So I'm gonna put it right about there and push it down. Don't apply too much glue to the back here, because when you push it down, you could be squishing glue to the back and gluing this to these flaps here. So apply a good amount of glue, but don't over glue it. And it appears I did not over glue it, so that is good. So now we have our base here, which is really fun. Again, this will be so cute with so many different kinds of stamp sets and backgrounds and color palettes. And now I'm gonna take this guy here, and I believe I did it this way on both of my cards. Yes, I did. So when I cut it out, it's all this length, but when I glued it on, I flipped the center piece over here. And with this guy as well, I'm gonna take that easy tear tape again, and I'm gonna apply 4 strips. And I'm gonna go across the back there. And you'll notice that adhesive of where you applied it underneath when you stuck down the lace, that adhesive is still sticky. Even when I was cutting it out on my paper trimmer, it was sticking to the back of my paper trimmer. Just wanted you to keep that in mind. And give you a heads up in case you're like, oh gosh, why is this still sticking? Okay, that was a little long, so I'm gonna just squish that down. Add some glue. Again, if you put glue over your tape, it still allows for some wiggle room. And I am gonna place my square right about there. There we go. Push that down. It's always good to double check none of your glue has snuck out and attached to something it shouldn't. So far we are good. Okay, you have this really fun piece of tinsel, and I wanted to do like a really fun textured background. So I pretty much go to every store in my tiny town and look for cool things for my class kits. And I love adding some non-traditional paper craft supplies, such as tinsel and decorative tulle for gift wrapping, just to add to our kits. So you've got a little piece here, I think it's about 5 inches. And I am going to find my scissors. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. So I'm taking my little Happy Winter, and I want a nice little border, and I'm just gonna cut it. Don't cut your Happy Winter guy. So I'm just gonna cut that piece a little bit smaller. Actually, that's kind of the same size all the way across. Unbelievable. And we are going to take our Easy Tear tape. It's gotten a lot of use for this class. And I'm gonna do 2 strips of it. Pop off that backing. I'm gonna do another little strip. And yes, you can use red liner tape as well. Whatever double-sided permanent adhesive that you have. Make sure I have it going the right way. So now I'm gonna stick on my little, start at one end, and I'm just kind of centering where the little braided piece is, like so. And I have it sticking out a little bit on this end, so I'm gonna trim that off. In fact, I'm gonna trim everything sticking out on this end off. We're gonna give it a little haircut. You can do this next part over your coffee filter because it is a little messy. We are gonna trim off these top pieces because we are just gonna do this little bottom border. And like I mentioned in my class, you can keep it the length you want it, or you can trim it. You could trim it like that if you wanted like a little 1/2 inch border. I left one of my samples is trimmed, and one of my samples is just the length that came. So whatever works for you. You could do one of each too. Whatever's fun. I got some long little stragglers here. Okay, and that guy's gonna go right about there. So I'm gonna take 2 more strips of my Easy Tear tape. There we go. There is 1. Since that is not a solid backing, you might have to work a little bit to get that end up. And I am doing a second one just to really keep this secured down, since it is a very textured dimensional thing. And any little extra stragglers you might have sticking out, you could trim. Just make sure you don't cut your border. There you go. So here is my Happy Winter, and I'm gonna stick that right about there. So now I've got a cute little textured, fun little border down there, something unique. Like I said, it's always fun to add different dimension and textures and interactive things to your cards. Next, I am going to do 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And we are going to add our snowflakes. 1, and 2, and 3. And I got a little glue on my awesome little pickup tool by Pink and Main. There we go. This guy's kind of out of my card a little bit, which I'm okay with, but if you want to make sure you're staying in that A2 size, just scooch that guy in. So there are my snowflakes, and now I'm going to add that rose gold confetti. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to add a couple little dots. These can be a little smaller since that confetti is much smaller. So I'm going to do 2 where I have my 1 snowflake, and up here I'm going to do 1 where I have my 2 snowflakes, and then 2 down here to kind of even it all out. Stay. There we go. Oh, I have glue on this still. That's why it was fighting me. And 1, and add that guy. There we go. All right, and there is our fun additional kind of sparkly design in the back. And then last but not least, we are going to add our adorable little snowman. So in reality right now, my snowman is not all the way dry, but you can see it's starting to dry, so some of the detail is coming through. So I am going to glue him on, but if you want to wait probably at least another hour for this to dry, and how you know it's dry is when it goes from that solid white till you can actually see through. So you could see a big difference between this is my dry one and this one's still wet. But like I said, I'm still gonna attach him. I have to finish my card. So just be very careful if you, like me, are not overly patient and you want to attach your snowman now to finish your card. I am gonna take a little bit of foam tape right over my happy winter. And I know the size of my snowman, so I know that's gonna be just fine. And then I'm gonna place him right over there, and I'm not touching the part where I have the wet flocking. And therefore, I've now got my little happy winter snowman. My card is done. I hope you guys had fun watching. I need to see those comments. Did you learn anything? Are you excited about this new fold? Make sure you check out, if you scroll down this page, you will see some students that have already completed their cards. I love when you guys share with me. Please share away any of your completed cards from this kit or other class kits. I do have some room in my December 6th class. This is our teepee, our little pop-up teepee class. So again, this folds flat, can go in an A2 size envelope, and is an adorable little teepee fold card. Very unique, and you can open it up and write your message in the center. And again, this is December 6th, so I still have some time to ship some of these guys out. And thank you all so much for watching. I had such a blast with you. You can head on over to pinkandmain.com and use code DEMODONNA to let them know that I sent you to scoop up some of these fabulous products. Have a great day. And again, thanks to all my awesome students for taking this class. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.